Okay, I'm back. Ooh, check that out. Okay. Okay, I can be a square now. Good morning, Taylor Gang. I'm back. I'm back so soon. I know. I even want to change the border. I'm basically like learning how to do different things on StreamYard. So I'm feeling good. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You can't do Fox 5? We about to get in Fox 5. I think they're the only one that I got showing it right now. Or you mean chat? Because the chat might be a little. The chat might be a little. Good morning, Taylor Gang. Okay, so I got a new their chat, yes. I got a new setup, y'all. So I need y'all to help your girl out because if I start glitching, let me know. All right, because I'm doing something different and I want to know um I'm doing something different and I want to make sure that my internet connection looks good. So if I start like getting fuzzy or I glitch, let me know because that means that something isn't right. So yeah, I do got a new camera, but I can't turn my camera on because my new lights aren't here yet. So once my lights get here, we're gonna be done with the FaceTime camera on the MacBook. We're gonna switch over to the new camera that we bought. All right. What's going on with the Melly case? So in the meantime, we know that we went through Melly's habeas corpus the other day, right? And within that, we basically found out that they are pretty much isolating him from the world. A lot of people view it um as a mental tactic or a strategy in order to like break him down. Well, they filed that and they were supposed to respond and they turned around and filed another request for an extension, y'all. So the people trying to figure out why do y'all need so many extensions? You should not need an extension. You should not need another extension. Y'all need to talk about why y'all got that boy isolated from the world. Y'all need to talk about why y'all ain't let him talk to his mama in almost 2 years. Y'all need to talk about it. So I believe they filed it on the 27th. I seen Cat Not Williams. Shout out to Cat Not Williams. Made a post about it on X, and so I am going to see if I can pull it up. Thank you, Christine. That was such a great discussion to watch yesterday with you, Misty Williams and Arian. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I know we lost a lot of people dropped out of there because they don't like certain topics. But I thought it was a really good conversation. I love Miss D Williams. She's gonna recommend me her favorite anime so I can watch one because I don't watch anime. So she's gonna recommend one of her favorite animes to me. And yeah. Yeah. No, Jimmy is not Thug's brother. I didn't think he was Thug's brother. Uh Thug's brother that I'm aware of is Greg King. Greg King. He is the one who is the one who they call Death Greg, and we went through his indictment 2 days ago. So if you're interested in hearing about that, if you go back to my verdict watch from Monday, if you go in like 14 minutes, we start talking about Greg, who is Stokes' brother. But Jimmy Winfrey is the one that they call Pee Wee Roscoe. Pee Wee Roscoe. He was originally accused of shooting up the Lil Wayne tour bus. And he ended up taking a plea, which was overturned because there were conversations about the pressure that he was under in order to take that plea. So apparently, the prosecution basically told him if he didn't take the plea, that he would suffer a higher penalty later. And because of that, they ended up reversing it. And so now he is indicted in the YSL RICO trial. He has a charge for RICO. He also has, and I'm going off the top of my head, y'all, so just bear with me. I'll try to get it pulled up. He has a RICO charge. He has possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I believe he has a gang charge. I believe, Beta, girl, I struggled yesterday. Oh, thank you so much for acknowledging acknowledging that, because baby, I was struggling. She said, "How can I stand they chat?" I was struggling. I'm just trying to make sure I got the counts right. So we had Kia's counts 1, 24, 25, and 26, which is Rico. What are the other ones? I don't have the indictment pulled up. I'm missing one. I'm missing an indictment, so I'll get it pulled up. Rico, possession of a firearm, a gang charge, and something else. But I guess we'll hear it read out too whenever the hearing starts. Yes, he was also a part of Bankroll Mafia with T.I. and was on the show that T.I. had back in the day. I can't find the name. Right? It's all related to the bus shooting. Yes. Taylor, are you going to show the jurors interviews with Smooth Chocolate Cocoa? Allie. Allie. I wish I could have gotten up there. We have to be open to these hard conversations if we want to grow and evolve into a stronger community. Experiences are facts that we can learn from. Absolutely. And that's what kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong. When me and Erie, when we were up there and she was talking about it, like we were joking, we were like we were joking about Miss D. Williams' experience. But at the end of the day, like we respect the fact that she spoke out, one. And two, she's entitled to share her experience. And I think that a lot of people want to understand why we feel the way that we do, but they aren't receptive to our explanations and our experiences in general when we get on, when we get out there and start talking about it. So I appreciate this comment. Thank you. Good morning, Mel. Good morning. So if you are a Taylor gang, if you are part of the people or the grand jury, which I think I'm gonna change to Taylor gang. If you are part of the people or the grand jury, meaning you have a membership, I would love your feedback inside of your membership chat on how you guys want to go about covering our next trial. So we are doing some catch up because y'all know I didn't watch the first YNW Melly trial. So we are going to rewatch that trial, but there are also ongoing trials that I don't want to miss out on either. So if you have a membership, I want to know how you want to do this. I was thinking we could watch live trials during the day, and then like either at night or on the weekends we could do our YNW Melly trial rewatch, because if we think about it, we've got quite a bit of time. We don't have to rush it because we've got quite a bit of time until the next trial. The next trial isn't set until September of next year. So I mean, we'll always be up to date on any motions or anything that gets filed, but I don't think we have to get behind on everything else just because we're trying to catch up, or because I'm trying to catch up, because y'all know I didn't watch it. So I need y'all to jump in the chat and let me know what y'all thoughts are, and then I also want to know what trials y'all want to watch, because I am interested in the coroner, who was accused of murder. Okay, I'm interested in the coroner. Jimmy is one of Thug's best friends. I'm interested in the coroner. Thank you, Terry. Good morning. I hope you have a blessed day as well. Am I glitching, y'all? Let me know. Because is it fuzzy? Anything happening with the cam? Because I can't see it. I can't see it. I'm actually gonna pull it up over here so I can take a look at it, because yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, it's better. Okay, because I'm not on the Wi-Fi. I'm plugged right into the modem. Shout out to the lead attorney for dropping that. For dropping that tidbit. What about the Diddy trial? That is in May, though. Well, Val, I'm not covering the Diddy trial just because it's a big trigger for me. Like I can't consume it. I can't deal with the narcissism. But it also is a Fed case, so we won't necessarily know what's happening unless somebody is getting a transcript. So it's not really televised. Okay, you guys are. Mm-hmm. I like the idea of doing live trial while they are live and catching up on the older trials in free time. Okay, okay. That's what we're gonna do, y'all. Is Paige presiding over this hearing? Yes, she is, Hershey. Good morning, Rain. But y'all know I'm not a lawyer, but y'all know Mel is covering Diddy. So if you are looking for Diddy updates, I would go to Mel. I would definitely go to Mel. Good morning, Room X. We 10 minutes after. Like, what's tea? What's going on? Let me make sure I'm at the live portion of it. Okay. I'm here. Thank you, Sabrina. Good morning, dear woke Christian. Grace and peace. What we watching? We are getting ready to watch Jimmy Winfrey, aka Pee Wee Roscoe, aka Thug's best friend, take his plea. He's having a plea hearing today. Yes, the Georgia Seal hath returned. So we are in here getting ready to see what's going on with that. I did also see that somebody has the motion, y'all. Remember yesterday, the attorney for Mr. Eppinger, Chris Eppinger, he was the guy who they say shot the police officer. We watched the video, very graphic. He or his lawyer talked about yesterday how they had a immunity. They were requested an immunity motion, or I'm sorry, an immunity hearing. So there was a motion that was filed. I found out that there was a motion out there. So I think it'll be good for us to go through that as well, so everybody can get up to speed on what the heck is going on with that motion. So I'm gonna actually I'm gonna pull that up while we wait, so we can see what the heck he need a immunity motion for. Something I never even really heard of. So I'm really eager to go through the document. But I want to know. I definitely wants to know. Let me some page. She stood on business and was fair. I think she was fair. I think she was fair. Woody did an interview yesterday and talked about how PJW was fair to him. on a prior charge the state tried to deny bond on. I think that she follows the letter of the law. Like, I don't doubt that she follows the letter of the law, and I think that she uses her discretion well in most situations. When it comes to Muntu, like, I've been thinking about it, like, dang, we are basically seeing her give like leniency to all these, other people that are coming up behind him. And I wonder how she feels about Mutsung. I wonder if she's reconsidering her initial decision, because I do feel like Paige was still new, and I think she was still figuring out like what was really going on in the trial. And I think that she jumped the gun a bit when she sentenced Mutsuk the way that she did. Especially seeing how, or her not really knowing how the trial had gone before previous witnesses, and her feeling like he committed perjury. Like, I think that she kind of jumped the gun with his, I feel like she jumped the gun with his sentencing. So yeah. But I do think Ali, that she tries to follow the letter of the law and use her discretion well. Child, it's a small world. Been watching this trial for since the beginning, and Juror 56, my son's frat brother. Ooh, child. Yep, Woody got bond before Paige. She loves Woody. Everybody saying good morning to Dear Woke Christian, aka Jason. Can you break down the next defendants? Janai, I did. I did break down the next set of defendants. We did that on Jury Watch. I want to say, let me figure out which video it is, Janai, and we'll throw it in the chat for you. But we did break it down. I want to say, I don't know if Joy is in here. Joy, what day did we do that? Did we do that on Monday too, after we went over Greg's stuff? Or did we do it Wednesday before Thanksgiving? We did break it down, Janai. We'll give you a timestamp, a video and a timestamp. You think she'll reconsider? I think she's done with it. I don't think she's going to reconsider it. It's almost like she punished him for the errors of the attorney. I know. Especially after the verdict, I think she realized it was too much. I think so. I think so too. I think so too. What frat? I get alpha vibes all day, Ali. Allie, I think all day. I don't know if it's Ali or Ali. I say it different every time I say it because I'm so unsure. She said she don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go look at my videos and see if I can. Okay, it is the one from November 27th, which is it's the one from November 27th, which is YSL Verdict Watch. Let me see if I can get a shareable link. Ali. Okay. Like Muhammad Ali. Hey, what you doing? Okay. All right. Can I write her now to reconsider? Nah, Ali, don't write her. Don't write her. No black law student over here. No black law student letters to AI letters to the judge. Okay, none of that. Oh my gosh, Ali. I'm laughing so hard. No black law student. Not that the black law student reemerged, y'all. Reemerged today. Y'all should have seen the messages that I got. I think I can eat today. I want to try to eat. I didn't eat yesterday. I couldn't eat yesterday. My stomach was on 10. I just basically had to fast all day and sip water. So I want to eat today. Like I feel like I'm feeling hungry. Y'all know I'll be hungry. I'm feeling hungry today, but I should probably take it easy. I need to do something light because I haven't had anything on my stomach in 24 hours. Over 24. Yeah, 24 hours. Over 24 hours. Don't give me flashbacks to him, y'all. And people was like, a lot of people ask me, like, what happened to y'all? What was your experience, child? Let me tell y'all. The man tried to take credit for Taylor Umbridge. The man tried to say that he created my whole likeness, in my opinion. Like I helped you with your platform and I helped you and I put you on my platform. I'm like, hold on. I built this shit brick by brick, my boy. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What's going on with Paige? She's usually prompt. Yes. Val. Oh my God. Life is tricky. Life is tricky. I swear that is Poppy because they both got on my entire nerves. Oh my gosh. I'll say Poppy likes to play devil's advocate. Sometimes he entices really good conversation. Other times, yeah. We have to call him Love Junior Junior. Because I think the juror from yesterday took the Love Junior spot. So we're gonna have to call Poppy Love Junior Junior now. Actually, I don't even call him Poppy. I call him DJ Fake Daddy because he got on my nerves so bad. But it's nothing but love. It's nothing but love from a distance because child, no. Child, I never heard of him until you were on X, you know? You know, you know. Only thing he enticed was my acid reflux. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all are hilarious. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah. I gotta go back and re-listen to Spaces last night because Thugadaley held the Spaces and I was doing so much stuff last night. I could not listen. Did y'all listen to Thugadaley's Spaces last night? You just gotta curse him out a couple times, Val, because he don't even hear it the first time. Maybe the first two times. You hosted it? Okay. Auntie hosted it. Auntie Joy hosted it for us. So I gotta go back and re-listen to it because I didn't see it looked like I'm lagging on my side. I must don't have the internet hooked up right or something. I gotta figure this out. Who I lost a few people. We were just laughing about the Black Law student. That's all. And DJ Fake Daddy, DJ Poppy. DJ Poppy. It's called Thugger Daily something. Yeah, and that's what I saw. I'm like Thugger Daily. Shout out to Thugger Daily, y'all. Our boy got that young thug follow. I know they made his whole day, night, week, month, year. Up until I say he was in there, I bounced because I was in a good mood. Good morning, Kim. Then unfollowed him. Oh my gosh. Whatever you want to watch, I'm here. Yay. I gotta finish. Okay. I gotta finish too, y'all. I gotta finish too. I mean, we waiting on court to start and let me text my girl and see what's going on because girl, what's happening? We behind. Oh, exclusive. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson fatally shot outside the Hilton Motel in New York. Oh my gosh. They say it was a targeted attack. So the CEO of the United Health Insurance Division was gunned down Wednesday morning outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown in what police say was a targeted attack. Brian Thompson, 50, was at the hotel around 6:46 a.m., arriving early for a conference when a masked man allegedly waiting for him fired at him repeatedly and fled eastbound off 6th Avenue. Thompson was hit in the chest, was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, to the Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Andrew Whitty, CEO of parent company United Health Group, said that the firm has been holding its Investors Day conference at the hotel on Wednesday, which Thompson was attending. The conference was abruptly called off due to a very serious medical condition with one of its team members, Whitty says. Officials said no arrests have been made yet and that the investigation is ongoing. The suspect was described as a white male wearing a cream colored jacket, black face mask, and black and white sneakers. Officials say he was carrying a gray backpack. Witnesses told the Post the suspect had been spotted near the vicinity of the hotel on 6th Avenue, milling around. Sources say that the shooter wasn't a guest at the hotel, but it is unclear if he had other business there. When the suspect spotted Thompson, he began to fire from a distance, striking him multiple times. The masked man then fled through the Zingfield alleyway and hopped on a bike to escape. Thompson, who had worked at United Health for the last 20 years, took the role of CEO in 2021 and was based at its offices in Minnesota, according to his LinkedIn account. Brian's experience, relationships, and values make him especially well suited to help United Healthcare improve how healthcare works for consumers, physicians, employers, governments, and our other partners, leading to continued and sustained long-term growth. He lived in a 5-bedroom home, and he purchased the North Star State in 2018 for $1 million, according to Zillow. He previously served as the company's head of government programs, including Medicare and retirement. The United Health Group, which employs more than 100,000 people across America, is ranked 4th in the Fortune 500. The company did not immediately respond to the Post request for comment. Prior to joining United Healthcare, Thompson spent 6 years in Minneapolis at PwC, an auditing and accounting firm. Oh my God. That is crazy. Okay, the people say sounds personal. That sounds political. Yes. In broad daylight. On the way to a meeting, yes. Taylor KB been showing out. Laugh out loud. She been waiting to unleash. Where's KB at?
Good morning. Have y'all had enough time to talk? We ready? Okay. All right. Is this a negotiated plea? All right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Um, it doesn't really matter. The table's fine. Yeah, do please use the mic. Okay. You hear me okay? Can you hear me, Madam Court Reporter?
This is the case Georgia versus Mr. Jimmy Winfrey, aka Mr. Roscoe, who's charged in indictment 22 SC 183-572, counts 1, 24, 25, and just for your honor's edification, the state will be dismissing count 26.
Okay. And I don't actually have a copy of the indictment in front of me. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Winfrey, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you're about to give in the matters pending before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you state your true, correct, and legal name for the record, sir?
Jimmy, J as in jam, I as in igloo, M as in money, M as in multi, and Y as in young. Middle name Carlton. C is in currency, A is in Atlanta, R is in rich, L is in long, T is in Tommy, O is in options, N is in Nancy. The last name is Winfrey. W is in win, I is in incomplete, N is in Nancy, F is in free, R is in royalty, E is in entertainment, and Y is in young. Jimmy Carter.
That was entertaining.
That was creative.
Thank you.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medicine, sir?
No, sir.
Is there any medication that you take regularly or on a daily basis that you have not taken today that would affect your ability to understand why you're before this honorable court?
No.
And Mr. Winfrey, can you tell me how old are you, sir, and how far have you gone in school?
I'm 34 years old. I made it with the 8th grade education. When I went to prison, I attained a high school diploma through Stratford Institution,
Okay.
private college.
Do you have your GED?
High school diploma.
Okay. And are you able to read, write, and understand the English language, sir?
Yes.
Do you understand that you are charged with the following offenses? In indictment 22 SC 183572, count 1, RICO, count 24, which is the violation of the Drug Act for the possession of oxycodone, and then count 25, which is the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And then you understand that the state will be no process count 26.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about that for your attorney, Ms. Miller?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges? And if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
Yes, sir.
Have you had enough time to understand and speak with your attorney, Ms. Miller, about all the facts and circumstances of your case and why you're here today?
Yes, sir.
And do you need any additional time to discuss any questions or concerns that you have in relation to the plea that you're before this court to take today?
No, sir.
And are you satisfied with the services that Ms. Miller's provided?
Absolutely.
And Ms. Miller, do you waive formal reading of the indictment?
I do.
As well as any defects in the indictment, including any with respect to your client's name for the purposes of this plea?
I do.
And Mr. Winfrey, has your attorney advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each charge you'll be pleading guilty to?
Yes, sir.
And did Ms. Miller advise for count 1, the conspiracy to violate RICO, minimum is 5 years, maximum is 20 years?
Yes, sir.
And the possession of oxycodone, did she advise the minimum is 1 year, the maximum is 3 years?
Yes, sir.
And lastly, 25, did Ms. Miller advise that the minimum for possession of a firearm by convicted felon is 1 year, the maximum is 10 years?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any questions about the minimum maximum sentence you could potentially be facing based on your plea of guilty here today?
No, sir.
And Mr. Winfrey, do you understand this is a negotiated plea of guilty, which means the state and your counsel, Ms. Miller, will make a joint recommendation to the court as it relates to a sentence, but the court does not have to follow that sentence and can sentence you to the maximum on each charge and run the maximum for each charge consecutively or one after another if she sees fit.
Yes.
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 And do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on other convictions in this jurisdiction as well as in other jurisdictions, including the federal court, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Winfrey, do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, a guilty plea will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, regardless of any advice given to you by your attorney or anybody else?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses by entering a plea of guilty here today?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Winfrey, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up the following rights: the right to trial by jury, the right to remain silent and to not incriminate yourself, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to the assistance of counsel hired by you or court appointed if you were unable to afford an attorney at the trial of your case, the right to presumption of innocence, the right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence, the right to subpoena witnesses and to compel the production of evidence, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt by the state of Georgia, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after trial. You understand that you are waiving or giving up all of those rights by pleading guilty here today?
Yes, sir.
And has anyone, Mr. Winfrey, forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea before this honorable court here today?
No, sir.
And is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you're in fact guilty?
Yes, sir.
And as it relates to the charges, how do you plead to count 1 and indictment number 22, SC 183572, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
And how do you plead to count 24, the possession of oxycodone?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
And lastly, how do you plead to count 25, which is possession of a firearm by a convicted felon?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
And Mr. Winfrey, is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of all the charges against you, sir?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that you may only have a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that you have only 4 years from today for a felony charge to file what's called a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea?
Yes, sir.
And is that something that you and Ms. Miller spoke about before today and that you fully understand?
I'm understanding all my rights of the guilty plea.
All right, let me just add, in addition, you have 30 days from today to file a direct appeal, and you have until the end of this term of court to file a motion that would seek to withdraw your guilty plea. Doesn't mean any of those would be granted, but those are the time limits. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Your Honor, this time I believe you have the indictment, but I would tender the indictment.
Yes.
Had the case proceeded to trial, again, as it relates to this defendant, Mr. Winfrey, the state would have been able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that between the dates of January 24th, 2013, and May 18th, 2022, Mr. Winfrey did participate and conspire while being associated with YSL to acquire directly or indirectly interest in United States currency and other personal property through a pattern of racketeering, as well as did conspire to conduct and participate directly, indirectly through that enterprise of YSL through a pattern of racketeering in or by through the furtherance of a conspiracy by or with the objectives of preserving, protecting, and enhancing the reputation of YSL and the power and territory of that enterprise through the racketeering activity, which included murder, assaults, and other threats of violence, as well as obstructing law enforcement investigations and court proceedings through witness intimidation and attacks upon law enforcement, Your Honor. As it relates to counts 24 and 25, the factual basis that would be for the plea on both of those counts. Mr. Winfrey on July 10th, 2021 was pulled over here in the city of Atlanta. A traffic stop was conducted while he was in a 2021 Dodge Durango. During the traffic stop, the officer smelled a strong odor of marijuana, to which at that point the vehicle was searched, and there were several grams of marijuana, which he's not charged with, found in the car in a book bag, as well as 5 pills that were later tested by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, testing positive for oxycodone. Also within the glove compartment of the vehicle, a Glock 21 45 caliber handgun was located. Mr. Winfrey had a prior felony conviction out of Cobb County for participation in criminal street gang activity and aggravated assault and other related charges as it relates to the shooting of Little Wayne's tour bus, Your Honor. That would be the factual basis as it relates to the charges in which Mr. Winfrey is pleading guilty here today. As did state, he does have that felony conviction. There's one other felony conviction out of Florida. It was also a drug conviction where he was sentenced on November 5th, 2020, and successfully completed that sentence, which ended on November 4th, 2023. This time, I apologize, the recommendation to the court that we made as a joint recommendation by counsel is relates to count 1, 10 years to serve, 2 years credit for time served, release and time served, the balance to be served on probation.
Okay, so with regard to him not having any contact with future witnesses, are you gonna put a list together for me to put in the conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, we will provide the same list that we used for the prior pleas as
Okay.
it relates to Mr. Williams. I'll get those to
All right.
Mr. Ross.
Okay. Okay, so, and what is the recommended sentence for the other two counts?
The current sentence, Your Honor, as relates to count 24, 2 years to serve, time served, at least some time served, and as relates to possession of a firearm, convicted felon, 7 years probation to run concurrent with count one.
Okay. All right. Ms. Miller, is there anything the defense wants to put on the record?
Yes, Judge, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Winfrey is prepared to take this plea today. As Your Honor is aware, he has been in custody continuously for 18 months. Our position is certainly counts 24 and 25. He was in possession of the pills and the marijuana, and the gun was in the car. As it relates to the RICO, he did want to make clear to the court, understanding the nature of a conspiracy, much of that stuff that he is not charged with, he does not have specific knowledge of. However, he does understand that there is a sufficient factual basis for his plea to the RICO count. And, you know, as one could imagine, he is ready to go home and put this behind him. He has known Jeffrey Williams since he was a little boy. They grew up together in the same community, the Cleveland Avenue community. And much of this, as we have learned, started as kids who were friends and developed into a good deal of success for Mr. Winfrey and Mr. Williams in the music industry. That is what I would like the court to focus on. Mr. Winfrey has been gainfully employed in the music industry as a management professional. He manages talent. He also has successfully booked and promoted tours. That is the line of work that he will continue to be in while he is on bond. Of course, you know, he has a criminal history, and so his options for employment are somewhat limited, but he has carved out a profession in this world, and he looks forward to continuing that. There are many other artists that he works with, and he hopes to re-engage in that upon his release. My understanding from just to clarify for Mr. Winfrey, you know, to the extent that, for example, if Mr. Winfrey is working with Kendrick Lamar, who is a famous artist, and you know, Jeffrey Williams, should he be on a tour together, that the no contact means no personal contact. There may be occasions where they are in the same arena together because of a tour that involves multiple artists. I don't know that this will happen, Judge, but I am anticipating this and just want to be really clear for Mr. Winfrey's sake and for the record's sake that the prosecutor is intending for there to be no personal contact between these two individuals for the duration of Mr. Winfrey's sentence and or Mr. Williams' sentence. As I understand, he has a similar condition. What we don't want is if, for example, Mr. Winfrey is able to book a tour with another artist whose management company is negotiating with him, and it relates to Mr. Williams, that he would be in violation. He just wants to understand the scope of it. I've discussed this with the prosecutor. The prosecutor has indicated that his intent with this no contact is no personal contact, no personal phone calls, no personal text messages, no personal communications with Mr. Williams for the duration of his sentence. But it does not mean that if, for example, there is a professional opportunity where his lawyers are negotiating with Mr. Williams's lawyers, that would not be, for example, a violation of his bond. And just wanted to make that point for the record, Your Honor. But he is absolutely understanding that no contact means no personal contact whatsoever. And to the extent there is a professional reason to have contact, that will be done through third parties with Mr. Williams's third party representatives. In addition to that, for clarity's sake, Mr. Winfrey understands that he is to have no possession whatsoever of any firearms. However, due to the nature of his work, there are occasions where professional security are hired, and I mean professional licensed security companies, as well as off-duty officers who may be around him and in possession of a gun. I've discussed this with the prosecutor. The prosecutor agrees that the no possession of a firearm certainly means no personal possession for Mr. Winfrey, but would not be implicated if, for example, a off-duty officer is working security. This does not mean, to use a prosecutor's expression, peanuts on security. He has a gun. The understanding is that the security would be a professional licensed security company and or an off-duty officer. But with those two clarifications, Your Honor, we would ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated.
All right, and is that an accurate rendition of the understanding of the special conditions? All right, and can y'all clarify for me how long Mr. Winfrey has been in custody on these charges?
Judge, the screen is showing August 13, 2023, the booking screen. Not sure what it was before then.
July 13th.
So about 17 months.
That's accurate, Judge.
All right, so are y'all intending for the 2 years to be commuted to time served?
Yes, Your Honor, we could do, if you'd rather, well, you did a year, we could do 10 serving.
16 months?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I find there to be a factual basis for this plea, and I accept it as freely, knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily entered with an understanding of all of the consequences. And I am going to sentence in accord with the recommendation as just modified on count 1, 10 years to serve 16 months with credit for time served, balance probated. On count 2, are we just saying 16 months to serve, credit for time served? And on count 3, not count 2, count 24, the second count. And then on count 25, 7 years probation, all of those sentences to run concurrently. Special conditions of your probation, you're to have no personal or social contact with any of the co-defendants in this case, and no contact whatsoever with any of the witnesses in any future trial on this indictment. You need to maintain lawful employment throughout the period of your probation, and you may not possess any firearms with the exception that you are allowed to be around professional security with firearms to the extent that that's necessary for your lawful employment. And with regard to the no contact with the co-defendants, again, there's the exception for what is necessary for your lawful employment with regard to, being around them, but there's to be absolutely no personal or social contact, and to the extent possible, any work necessitated contact should be through third parties. All right, and then any technical violations can be handled by probation's options management. I'm going to have, hopefully there won't be any other violations, but back to me with any violations. And I'm going to tell you some version of the same thing that I said to Mr. Williams. You are in an industry where a whole lot of young people watch with great attention every detail of everything that y'all do on and off stage. And with that kind of influence and audience, you really should be trying to set a good example and an example to young kids to do something other than what you grew up with that landed you in jail very early in your life. And I commend you for having taken the time that you were in jail to further educate yourself and things like that. But, you know, y'all are very influential and try to use that for good. All right. Good luck to you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey wanted to say something to Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank God, Your Honor. I thank you for giving me a second chance at life. I understand totally what you said, and I was speaking to Tanya about that as well, as far as making a positive influence and allowing myself to be fruit to my community instead of poison. The way that we grew up, of the way that we thought was right, and we learned what is right. And so now I'm trying to apply right, and I appreciate you for helping me take the first step towards that. And I won't let you down by being the change. I'm gonna start by changing with myself. And thank you.
Good. Thank you. Best of luck to you. All right. Thank you, Ms. Miller. Thank you, Mr. Abadi. All right. We'll see y'all at least back on the 17th, if not before. If y'all have any other pleas in the meantime that are ready to be presented, just let my chambers know. All right. Thanks. Yes. And let me give you your copy of the indictment back also.
All right, so Jimmy got 7 years of probation. But honestly, y'all, we got to run that argument back because she just did her big one. Okay. I'm trying to print something and it's messed up. But baby, we gotta run that argument back. We gotta run that argument back because baby, did she not do her thing? That was some black excellence right there, baby. That was some excellence. So just give me a second. We're gonna run her argument back. Hold
Okay. All right. Ms. Miller, is there anything the defense wants to put on the record?
Yes, Judge, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Winfrey is prepared to take this plea today. As Your Honor is aware, he has been in custody continuously for 18 months. Our position is certainly counts 24 and 25. He was in possession of the pills and the marijuana, and the gun was in the car. As it relates to the RICO, he did want to make clear to the court, understanding the nature of a conspiracy. Much of that stuff that he is not charged with, he does not have specific knowledge of. However, he does understand that there is a sufficient factual basis for his plea to the RICO count. And you know, as one could imagine, he is ready to go home and put this behind him. He has known Jeffrey Williams since he was a little boy. They grew up together in the same community, the Cleveland Avenue community. And much of this, as we have learned, started as kids who were friends and developed into a good deal of success for Mr. Winfrey and Mr. Williams in the music industry. That is what I would like the court to focus on. Mr. Winfrey has been gainfully employed in the music industry as a management professional. He manages talent. He also has successfully booked and promoted tours. That is the line of work that he will continue to be in while he is on bond. Of course, you know, he has a criminal history, and so his options for employment are somewhat limited, but he has carved out a profession in this world, and he looks forward to continuing that. There are many other artists that he works with, and he hopes to re-engage in that upon his release. My understanding from just to clarify for Mr. Winfrey, you know, to the extent that, for example, if Mr. Winfrey is working with Kendrick Lamar, who is a famous artist, and Jeffrey Williams, should he be on a tour together, that the no contact means no personal contact. There may be occasions where they are in the same arena together because of a tour that involves multiple artists. I don't know that this will happen, Judge, but I am anticipating this and just want to be really clear, for Mr. Winfrey's sake, and for the record's sake, that the prosecutor is intending for there to be no personal contact between these two individuals for the duration of Mr. Winfrey's sentence and or Mr. Williams' sentence. As I understand, he has a similar condition. What we don't want is if, for example, Mr. Winfrey is able to book a tour with another artist whose management company is negotiating with him, and it relates to Mr. Williams, that he would be in violation. He just wants to understand the scope of it. I've discussed this with the prosecutor. The prosecutor has indicated that his intent with this no contact is no personal contact, no personal phone calls, no personal text messages, no personal communications with Mr. Williams for the duration of his sentence. But it does not mean that if, for example, there is a professional opportunity where his lawyers are negotiating with Mr. Williams's lawyers, that would not be, for example, a violation of his bond. And just wanted to make that point for the record, Your Honor. But he is absolutely understanding that no contact means no personal contact whatsoever. And to the extent there is a professional reason to have contact, that will be done through third parties with Mr. Williams's third-party representatives. In addition to that, for clarity's sake, Mr. Winfrey understands that he is to have no possession whatsoever of any firearms. However, due to the nature of his work, there are occasions where professional security are hired, and I mean professional licensed security companies, as well as off-duty officers who may be around him and in possession of a gun. I've discussed this with the prosecutor. The prosecutor agrees that the no possession of a firearm certainly means no personal possession for Mr. Winfrey, but would not be implicated if, for example, a off-duty officer is working security. This does not mean, to use the prosecutor's expression, peanuts on security, he has a gun. The understanding is that the security would be a professional licensed security company and or an off-duty officer. But with those two clarifications, Your Honor, we would ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated.
All right. And is that an accurate rendition of the understanding of the special conditions? All right. And can y'all clarify for me how long Mr. Winfrey has been in custody on these charges?
Judge, the screen is showing August 13, 2023, the booking screen. Not sure what it was before.
July 13th.
So about 17 months.
That's accurate, Judge.
All right. So are y'all intending for the 2 years to be commuted to time served?
Yeah, Your Honor, we could do, if you'd rather, well, you did a year, we could do 10 serving.
16 months.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I find there to be a factual basis for this plea, and I accept it as freely, knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily entered with an understanding of all of the consequences. And I am going to sentence in accord with the recommendation as just modified on count 1, 10 years to serve 16 months with credit for time served, balance probated. On count 2, are we just saying 16 months to serve, credit for time served? And on count 3, not count 2, count 24, the second count. And then on count 25, 7 years probation, all of those sentences to run concurrently. Special conditions of your probation, you're to have no personal or social contact with any of the co-defendants in this case, and no contact whatsoever with any of the witnesses any future trial on this indictment. You need to maintain lawful employment throughout the period of your probation, and you may not possess any firearms, with the exception that you are allowed to be around professional security with firearms to the extent that that's necessary for your lawful employment. And with regard to the no contact with the co-defendants, again, there's the exception for what is necessary for your lawful employment with regard to being around them, but there's to be absolutely no personal or social contact, and to the extent possible, any work necessitated contact should be through third parties. All right, and then any technical violations can be handled by probation's options management. I'm going to have, hopefully there won't be any other violations, but back to me with any violations. And I'm going to tell you some version of the same thing that I said to Mr. Williams. You are in an industry where a whole lot of young people watch with great attention every detail of everything that y'all do on and off stage. And with that kind of influence and audience, you really should be trying to set a good example and an example to young kids to do something other than what you grew up with, that landed you in jail very early in your life. And I commend you for having taken the time that you were in jail to further educate yourself and things like that. But y'all are very influential, and try to use that for good. All right, good luck to you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey wanted to say something to Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Did y'all want to hear what he said again? Halo. Yeah. Everybody say what's up to Lauren. Say halo. And Attorney Yates is in the building, y'all. Attorney Yates is in the building. Did y'all want to hear what he said again? Because I'm going to tell you one thing. Okay, no. Okay, good. Let me tell you something. Okay, this was that. If you're going to come for me, come correct. Did y'all see that side she gave? She gave the state. Now, we didn't have this conversation behind closed doors. We didn't have this conversation. Y'all commuting this to time served, and my boy going to be able to do his job. Okay, he's going to be able to hire armed security. All right, and if in any event he needs to conduct business with, let's say, Jeffrey Williams, Young Thug, maybe there will be a third party representative. You will not stop our boy from being able to collect that coin. Okay, because when it comes to the coins, you cannot. You can't just be stripping people of their jobs out here. All right. These guys, they all grew up in a low poverty area. They was outside doing whatever they had to do to get by. So now that the man has found his way. Okay. Now that the man has found a way to collect the coin, maybe don't take the coin away from him. And his lawyer did a fantastic job advocating for him. Okay, wait a minute, y'all, because it look like I'm making. Okay. She did a fantastic job advocating for him. Okay, Black excellence. She showed up the court. Maybe she got the right colors on. She's in season. Makeup is beat. Okay, and did you hear? Did you hear the intelligence come out of Ali's mouth? Okay, Black in law. Love it. Love it. Okay, y'all. I had to get. I was on my rant. But I absolutely loved it. Her laid. Okay. She's a Georgia state representative too in District 62. Child, you telling a story. Is she really? She was giving the side eye, and I was like, yes, okay, because don't play. We seen and heard how y'all move. We didn't watch you move the way that you move. But Miss Love wasn't even in the building. She ain't even in the building. So, I guess there was a little bit more comfort there. But child, she looked over like, okay. I did not hear her name. Does anybody know her name? Adventure Inn. Do you know her name? And what's her for? Yes. Hilton and Love need to take notes. Yes, the decorum, okay? Hey, Jamie. Now that's the correct representation we need. Yes, ma'am. Love still sliding down the wall, okay? She might have made it to the bathroom floor. He called her Tanya. Okay. Not the way the state displayed us. Very demure. Very demure. That's what I say, decorum. Very demure. Very demure. Love still sleep in the corner. So, I think that I saw somebody say, like, nobody should be taking a plea deal for RICO, child. Ain't nobody trying to get swept up. A RICO is 5 to 20 years. And if you are or have a felony, you already know that they trying to give you the max. They gonna file another what is it called? What is it called? Is Gates still in here? What is it called? We went over yesterday. You know what they filed I want to call it a restivia, but it's not a rest. What is it called? A reviticism. Yes. They filing reviticisms out here. So basically, if you are a prior convicted felon and you get found guilty of anything, maybe they give you 20 years. They giving the people 20 years. So no, baby. If you're gonna give me 2 years time served and 7 years on papers, I'm taking it. Okay, that mean I'm gonna walk out of jail today. That mean I'm walking free today. Okay, yeah, let's go. And if you didn't hear, they coming back on December the 17th, that we got to hear the plea hearing for the next group. It sounds like the majority of them are going to take a plea, as they should. And when it comes to Miles Foley, baby, they need to go and drop that M. I know it's still on the table right now, but baby, when they do their negotiations, they need to go and let that go up off of Miles. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. They need to go and let that go up off of Miles. And here's the thing too, because I also see a lot of people talking about people were found guilty. People pled Nolo to RICO. It doesn't matter. Everybody, whatever charge you have is your charge, and it's going to be looked at independently of what anybody else got going on. So the fact that those boys, they got acquitted yesterday, and Shannon got acquitted yesterday on their RICO charge, it has absolutely nothing to do with anybody else who has their count. Everything is held individually. But I will say that it helps in their plea negotiations. That's where the conversations come out about. That's where the conversations are going to come about. All right. It don't matter that happened to them. If they choose to go to court, they're not going to drop the charge. At the end of the day, they want a conviction. They need to get that dropped off of Miles. I don't understand. Anything to get out of Right Street, okay? Can you explain why Eppinger has immunity? Yes, Kika. Let me get the motion. Let me get the motion. I got to go find my chat with Joy, because Joy was actually... For real, Joy? I didn't know that. Joy sent me the link, and so now I got to get on here. Let me get on here and get the motion. Miles is out on bond. He was the only one who had bond. And I believe Miles had bond because they basically locked up his attorney, talking about he was bringing in pills and drugs into the courtroom, but they was actually his prescribed medication. It was some crazy stuff going on with Miles. Okay, wait a minute. I'm not trying to pay for nothing. Let me sign in. Taylor, can I come up and explain the absolutely. I'm getting ready to find it so we can read it too. But I am going to invite Attorney Yates up, and I meant to ask you to come up anyway. They don't have to drop anything, Kika. They don't have to drop anything. The only thing they can do right now is negotiate it to be dropped. They don't have to do it. Everybody say hi to Attorney Yates. Hold on, let me stop sharing. I don't like this. Okay, hold on. Let me edit this. Something's wrong. Hold on. This card changes. It should be both of us. But why am I so huge?
Oh, it's fine. I'm actually about to do lunch. It's my coworker's birthday, so we're doing lunch. But I kind of wanted to just give a brief, kind of quick explanation of the immunity motion because I think people are assuming it means that he's getting immunity. That's not what it is. So here in Georgia, what we call an immunity motion, an immunity an immunity motion is something that we file when we want to assert a claim of self-defense. So the immunity motion is basically something you file pre-trial, and the judge hears it because it is contested. The state's not agreeing to it. It's a full hearing, and you make your argument as to self-defense. Um, if the judge grants your motion, your immunity motion, then the charge is, or the case is dismissed, at least against that charge that you're asserting self-defense. If it's denied, then you still go to trial and you can still claim self-defense. Juries find all the time that it was self-defense, even when the immunity motion was denied. So it, Stara asked me if it was, because Stara, I guess, doesn't have this where she is. She asked if it was similar to like direct a verdict. And I would say yes, in the sense that if it's granted, it's dismissed. And if it's not, you just move forward. It goes to the jury, and then the jury gets to pick and decide whether or not they are not guilty because of self-defense. So that's what the immunity motion is, and that's what his attorney filed. So they have to have a hearing on that motion on whether or not he acted in self-defense.
They're gonna people happy. So he's the guy. So Chris, I gotta get my circle back up here because I heard I am messing with stuff. I didn't broke the StreamYard. So Chris Eppinger, Big Briss, is the one who we saw in the video with the officer who was shot, and they went to the house. So he's alleged shooting that police officer, and so it sounds like he's claiming self-defense. And I want to say it's because the officer didn't announce themselves or something, in something like that. But I want to read the motion. I don't have it up. That was a weird stop.
Can you still hear me? If I, hon, okay, can you still hear me, Taylor?
I can.
Okay, I have the motion. I can read it if you would like. So the motion, it's a motion to bar the above referenced case based upon immunity from prosecution. It says, comes now, defendant Aaron Scott, by and through undersigned counsel, and hereby files this motion to bar the above referenced case based upon immunity from prosecution. In support of this motion, defendant shows as follows. Defendant is innocent of the charges listed in counts 32, 33, 36, 37, 38, and 39 in the above referenced bill of indictment, and employed the affirmative defense of self-defense, defense of habitation, and or defense of others. Defendant respectfully requests that this honorable court schedule a pretrial immunity hearing under Fair v. State to determine whether the above referenced bill of indictment must be dismissed and the above referenced case be barred from trial pursuant to the immunity statute, which is OCGA 16-3-24.2. Defendant respectfully requests that this honorable court make factual findings and issue a final decision regarding defendant's immunity under a preponderance of the evidence standard with the burden placed upon the defendant. So since it's an affirmative defense, that burden does get shifted to the defense. Defendant does not waive his affirmative defense of self-defense, defense of property, and defense of habitation under OCGA at trial if a trial is necessary. Because the immunity issue addresses whether the state can continue to prosecute the case, and it is ancillary to defendant's guilt or innocence at trial, which must be determined by a jury under a reasonable doubt standard, Bunn versus State. Wherefore, defendant requests that the trial court schedule a pretrial hearing on the merits of this claim, on the merits of the claims of this motion, that the pre-trial hearing be transcribed, that the court enter an order granting the relief requested in this motion. I'm coming. For such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper. And so that is the immunity motion.
Mm.
And Taylor, I'll text it to you so you have it like just readily available.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Yates.
Um,
Enjoy lunch. Say your coworker happy birthday.
Absolutely. Gabby was, oh shit, Gabby was in my live yesterday. So Gabby, happy birthday. Sorry. Thank you, Taylor. I'll get those texted to you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. So yes, B. So if we remember in the hearing, his attorney also requested the transcripts because they said he wants to impeach the witness. So we know the transcript is going to take a while to be complete. But he wants at least the transcript from that particular witness, which was the police officer himself. And he wants to go through it because they say he told a story. They say he told a story. I mean, we watched it in 4K, so yeah. And that is exactly why he's asking for that transcript, Sarah. That's exactly why. So that is the latest and greatest. That is the latest and greatest. So do everybody understand what's going on with the immunity motion? They're basically claiming self-defense because a variety of reasons. Because and for a variety of reasons. He got sentenced already to 65 years for that, right? I don't know if he got sentenced for that. I don't know. I gotta do some more research on it. To be honest, I was just gonna read the motion. I didn't know. I thought that it was still pending. I didn't think that he had been sentenced for it. I knew he was locked up for it. But Kika, we gonna find out. We gonna find out, honey. A lot of testimony will be impeached if they don't say the exact same thing. Yes, and they're going to be able to use everything that went on in this trial in the next trial. So, child, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be messy. Yes, it's going to be messy. It's going to be messy. Renee, yes, they will likely call the same witnesses. Maybe unless if they don't drop them M charges on the other guys that's a part of that. Because let me see, QZ said that it was Jack and Shannon. So I don't know if they technically have to call Woody for the other guys. But given that he was called this time, I don't know. I gotta ask an attorney that because they could technically just use Bernie and the phone records to prosecute the other guys. They don't necessarily need Woody's testimony because Woody and QZ, they didn't testify. Oh, but Demikion Garlington is there. So maybe. I don't know. That's a good question, Renee. They could definitely, he definitely could test. Anybody that has been a witness can definitely be a witness again. Yeah. Kika Garlington, yep. Yep. Okay, y'all. So look, I'm about to eat because I haven't eaten in 24 hours. I'm about to eat. So I'm going to take a break. I will be back in, I guess I'm in Central Time. So I'm going to say 12 noon. I'll be back at noon and we can do a trial watch. I don't think they want Woody back up there. He showed his bottom. Yes, he did. He showed his ass. Didn't Paige release them? They all have been watching the trial at this point. Yes, they were released. That's crazy because the state is going to try and lock those witnesses up again. That's why we got to watch it, Val. That's why we got to keep our eyes on this second case because I think when we get to December 17th, it's going to be really, really telling as far as who's actually going to be going to trial because some of these guys, I would imagine that Demikion Garlington is probably going to go to trial. with Chris Eppinger. I would imagine that some of these other guys are going to get some plea deals, especially the ones that are already serving a life sentence. Okay. So I think it's going to be very, very telling when we get to December. We're in December in 2 weeks on what happened with these pleas. Taylor, Sandra Him is officially and permanently free in Missouri today. The longest held wrongfully convicted woman. Okay, okay, we can dig into Sandra a little bit earlier today. I mean, a little bit later today, because y'all know I'm in Missouri. I'm from St. Louis. Garlington may go to jail. That man was in the middle of everything. He was like air traffic control, baby. He was telling him, go this way, go that way. I said, dang, is he the leader? Did we find the roof to the car that was missing? Okay. Motor Mouth. I just went back and watched him spell his name. I don't know how these lawyers don't bust out laughing, baby. He spelled that name. E for entertaining. R for rich. Okay. What else did he say? N for Nancy. The spelling part, you missed the spelling? Okay, I'm gonna run the spelling part. I'm gonna run the spelling back for y'all real quick. I'll run the spelling back real quick before I jump off of here. If I still got it up. Okay, I don't even have it up no more. All right, I'm going to eat. I'm not even going. F for free, M for money. Okay, Shayna, he was out here getting it. All right, I heard some of it, not all of it, baby. He spelled his first middle and middle and last name. He spelled them all. Yes, you could go back and watch it. You can rewind it. Okay, y'all, I gotta go eat because y'all didn't eat yesterday. As y'all can see, I feel so much better. Like I want to go eat. So I'm gonna see y'all at 1 o'clock y'all time, 12 o'clock my time, and we're gonna do a try watch. I'll see y'all then.